Okay. Minutes from June 7th of 2022. Have you guys had a chance to look at that?
I did, I didn't see anything.
You make a motion, did you?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Second.
All right, motion carries. Thank you. Okay. And Tony, what do you have for us today?
The first item up for bid. Oh, I'm sorry. That was on Price is Right. Come on. First item on the agenda. Brad would have to be the other one today. We have the monthly report for the clerk of the circuit court, which I passed out and put in front of you. It's like the balance in all depositories, 384, 584, 93. Eric, I think there's a copy that I left for you.
Yeah, I got one. I got a treasurer's thing. It's the treasurer's. We don't even need these. I know they print them all the time. They're standard stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Report them back. We know you're solvent. We're not
In the red.
in the red.
Brad, you're supposed to keep that track.
Okay, any questions on the clerk's report? If not, I take a motion to enter it into record as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
Wait on a second.
Second, sorry.
all right,
Okay.
motion carries.
There's going to be two Allied weekly reports because one did not come in until in time before a vacation. So we have two today. The first one, Allied Weekly, is in the amount of $10,830.45, $10,830.45. And I am looking, and that is all medical. There were some adjustments, but it's all medical. Here is the information if you care to look on the first Allied Weekly claim.
A little bit of stop loss there.
Are you doing these separate or together?
Yeah, I'm gonna do two separate ones.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, motion carried.
And then the next Allied Weekly claim is in the amount of $60,579.30, $60,579.30. And that is $30,846.24 in medical, $42,571.21 in pharmacy. There was some stop loss, which made the total $60,579.30 for those weekly claims. And that information is inside if you wish to look at it. Did I tell you they called and said Mark would not be here today?
They had said something.
I didn't know if they were gonna send somebody else, but I guess not.
Mark said he would send somebody over.
I didn't. Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Brad and I discussed that. We'll decide which one
Yeah.
is the attorney.
Because in the past, he sent NATO.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're, I don't know.
I'll second Stan.
Okay, motion and second to approve the claims as presented.
We may have to have Eric do some of the attorney work today. I don't know. Okay. Now I have Eastern Alliance Workers' Comp for May in the amount of $7,347.47, $7,347.47, and I will pass this down so that you can peruse the info.
Jim will do it.
You will be the attorney?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he did walk in late like the attorney has, so. Good start.
How's Jim this morning?
Doing all right.
Good.
I went over to the Java bean between meetings and wrote a story and sent it in. So
You didn't bring us anything, Jimmy.
You're pretty productive.
I try to be.
That's making good use of your time.
I try to be. Well, wind last
That one
night,
big claim on it.
Yeah.
had a little lightning.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Okay, motion carries. Approve accounts payable.
I have one other item of business that we need you guys to give direction to our office on what to do or how much to do on the claim for Bowers, Charles Bowers for the month of May.
Okay, they have submitted a claim for services for May of 2022. From what I understand, they had animals at their facility up to May 9th. In the past, what we have done is approve claims on a month-to-month basis, but since this was a partial month, we would like to give them the benefit of a half a month's claim for that. So I guess that's kind of what I was thinking on this. They have submitted a claim for a full month. And I would like to give them, suggest that we give them, approve a claim for half a month.
What's that number, Dan? What might that figure
Be
be?
$2,500.
That's half?
That would be half a month.
2,500, okay, good.
So I'll leave it up to you guys for discussion.
Yeah, we did talk a little bit about that, and, yeah, I think it definitely needs to be prorated, absolutely. So if you want to settle on half a month, I mean, I would go ahead and support that, and, make that into a motion that we pay the 2,500.
Any thoughts or?
I agree with Rex, it should have been prorated, but.
So if we'd prorate it by the day, it would have been less than that. So for approving the claim for half a month is giving them the benefit
Right,
of
so I'll second that.
additional, yeah. So, okay, motion carries to approve the claim for, for Charles Bowers for $2,500.
We'll sign that later. Do we need to do that now? Do we just change this?
What if we change, what if I mark it out and have
I
the
think so.
initial? They're gonna do half?
Yeah, 2,500. And I can sign it later.
She just got back from Siesta Key, if you want to put that in the paper.
And then have him just initial.
If you could just initial that as someone there, Stan, then that's all we would need. And I'll sign it here.
Well, at least you got a nice tan out of it, didn't you?
Sure did.
It's really been hot there and she wears a sweater and it's 97 here.
I think she wears that on the beach
Uh,
with an umbrella over it.
Yeah, I understand.
No, the umbrella wouldn't be over it.
That's pretty bad. She goes to Florida and has good weather, and we have hurricanes up here.
Did you get,
She comes home to hurricane force winds.
Yeah, that's right, yep.
you had the rest of that stuff all down there, Rex, for later, or somebody? Okay, thanks. Not that I ever forget anything. I got myself in trouble this morning with all that abatement stuff.
You did?
Yeah,
I can't believe that. All right, anything else, Tony?
that is all that I have.
Okay. Brad? You want to start with engineer or with highway?
Engineer.
Okay.
Should be pretty simple today.
We
Should
like
be.
simple.
Testing. We had talked, I don't remember, a month or so ago about that bridge scour that's been ongoing. The engineers
Right.
get finalized plans. Just as a reminder, today is actually the day that it's going out for bid. And then June 28th is when we plan on opening the bids. So I'm really curious to see what it's gonna do. Real curious. And I guess also a little bit of a heads up, you know, being this time of the year, it's probably not gonna happen this year, it'll probably be for next year, so.
How many vendors do we have? We have 4 or 5 vendors involved in this?
With this project, they gotta advertise it, you know, more out, so we make sure some of the locals, some of our 3 or 4 locals get it, and then it's basically, hey, if they read wherever they advertise it, they can bid on it, so.
Is that on 1100 South or 1200 South?
1050 South is one of them, and then the Covered Bridge Road is another one, and then up here on Jackson Street.
This is the bid for the job, correct?
Yes, this is actually advertising for them to bid
For
it.
next year.
Yeah, they're not gonna have time anymore this year, I don't think, to get it all done. And then they're limited on when they can be in the water too, so, yeah. Yep,
The prices could be astronomical.
like I said, I'm really curious.
Maybe we can just have them clear the log jams while they're there too and help Paul out.
You know that, which one, ours or the other one?
All of
Ours isn't too bad, I just looked at it again last night, so, the other one's not good. So anyhow, yeah, on the engineering side, that's all I have. Just want to remind you guys, we're opening bids the 28th. That's our plan, so, and hopefully things go well. All right, on the highway side, you know, we talked a little bit, chit-chatted about with rising fuel prices and all that good stuff. So Paul and I have talked a little bit, you know, and where do you cut back? So one thing we're going to try for now is we're out mowing. We started mowing, and what we decided to try is instead of, you know, normally we would mow every road all the way out to the edge of the field. And, you know, sometimes that's more than one pass, even with a big mower. And so what we discussed was just make sure all the intersections are, you know, like, and we just told them, hey, 300-foot minimum, you know, should be plenty of sight distance to get up there, but do the intersection, all of them, all intersections, not just stop signs or anything like that. So mow everything. So, you know, we're going to try that and see, you know, maybe start doing some savings that way. And I just want to make sure that we discuss it here. That way maybe it gets out that people are, you know, going to start to question that, I'm sure.
So 300 foot out from each intersection?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We thought we'd give that a try and see how it goes, you know, and if we'd be fortunate enough, prices might come down by fall. Hey, we could start doing the whole thing again, but we're going to try this and see how it goes. But the safety aspect of that with the stop signs and intersections is the big thing, so. Yep.
Are there any problem areas as far as, like, say if we have thistle patches and stuff? I mean,
that's something, yeah, we can be addressed if we see there's something like that, you know, or somebody tells us about it, we can take care of it. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And then, of course, the other big news overnight was, you know, all the storm damage. So the guys are gonna be, you know, last night, and I wanna put out kudos to the sheriff's department. You know, they do a good job. They call us, they let us know where they're at. If it's blocking the road, they sit there and wait till we get there. And a lot of times, you know, we don't have a lot of guys out, and they will actually help us get stuff off the road. I just want to put out, you know, a thank you to them for what they do. And our guys.
Well, like last night, how many roads did you have blocked? I mean, you had a lot of trees.
I bet it, and it was interesting because, you know, when it all started, it kind of started slow. And so we heard about, you know, there was 3 or 4 miles up that way. Winchester was a mess, 900 was a mess. And then as the people, I don't know if people got out or the deputies were driving, you know, that started coming. And yeah, this whole part of the county is just a mess. And about every road you go up and down, you could find something. But our guys are gonna be busy the next couple of days, but they're out there hitting her, going to get her cleaned up.
So will this be something that new bucket truck will be?
Oh my goodness.
Advantage?
Thank you guys again. This is huge. You know, some of the stuff like what they're going to be dealing with, it would have been run the payloader out there and try and do what you can from it. But no, thank you guys again for allowing us to do that. That bucket truck has been a huge asset to us. And just like this, all the chainsaws are in it. They drive that truck out there. They have everything they need, and they can just go to her. So thank you again.
Can we use that for a source of revenue by selling firewood this fall?
You know, it's interesting. That's usually not a problem getting rid of that. Somebody always wants it. So, But, and then also thank you, we do appreciate when we're out there. And like last night, we were stretched just thin because of how much we had. But thank you to people that help. We always appreciate that. That's great. Just citizens that come up, and we appreciate that too.
Yeah.
So
Hey Brad, do you stack the wood when it's cut up? What do you do with the cut up wood from a tree?
a lot of times, if the people want the wood, we'll leave it there. Just get it off the road, out of the right of way.
You take it away, you leave it.
If we have to take it away, if nobody wants it, we'll get rid of it.
Okay.
But and a lot of times, yeah, most of the time we don't have to worry about that though. Somebody always wants the wood.
Okay.
Did you see any place where there's trees on houses or anything?
I actually myself did not witness that. I just heard a lot of it over the
Stan's
scanner.
house got hit. He said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a big hickory tree across the house. I think somebody said Mike Whirling's house got hit.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. So
Well, you've been through a hurricane and a tornado both the same night.
yeah.
98 mile an
There
hour
you go.
winds in the airport's at EF2.
Oh, no kidding.
tornado,
Okay.
and Hurricane 2.
Wow.
Wow.
So anyhow, I just
Yeah.
thank you.
And if you're out cutting, I was wear proper safety equipment.
And you didn't have much south, did you?
No. Nope. Down and burn. It came through, went through, and didn't think nothing about
I
it.
heard it was coming towards Geneva, and Steve Coon got out and raised his hand and started praying.
wow.
It turned right around and turned off back on the door.
Hey, maybe we do. He should be in that
You did
seat.
such a good job at safe burn.
Anyhow.
Brad, this is mostly north of Decatur then, basically.
Oh yeah.
North of Decatur.
Yeah. Basically,
The three
south
townships.
south of 124, we only had like 3 not huge trees down,
Okay.
and that didn't go any further than 800 south. But north.
1,010 poles down.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, north of 124, basically 300 north, it's a mess.
Well,
It's a mess up here, so.
Well, AEP's got their hands full.
Oh my
too.
goodness. Yes.
So,
Yep.
I was already, we had candles lit. I thought sure the lights would go out. They didn't, but there, north part of the city, there was lost electricity around Bungay.
I guess that's another thing real quick while I'm on my bandwagon. A thank you to those guys. People don't realize too with the electrician, the AP and RMC guys that they're out in that. And when you got that many people out of power, where do you start? So,
well, part of the thing that's scary is if you get wires down and a tree down, you can't see the wire underneath the tree,
Yep.
and you can get yourself into trouble.
and there was a couple like that last night we just don't touch.
Yeah,
Save them for a day and when it's daylight, so,
yeah,
yeah. But anyhow,
yeah.
No permits, huh?
no, I couldn't believe that either. But yeah, no permits today.
wait till next week, Rex.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
wait till-
hey.
You're right, you're right,
142.
you're right.
Holy cow.
Guy on Channel 21 was driving down Avoyt Center Road, incredible footage. And as he was driving, fires were erupting. He'd see a big flame go up over here, another go up over there where they were hitting poles and stuff.
Yeah. Anyhow, thank you guys.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Now, Jim, was that on Pentecost?
What's that?
You were seeing flyers erupt all over the place.
Oh, yeah, could have been.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me if we had any wind in our house, and I said, yeah, but I told her to be quiet so I could watch TV.
Oh. Yeah. Thanks, Brad. All right. Well, if anybody ever needs a character reference, we got plenty of characters here. All right, Ed, would you like to come up?
Morning.
You can come up and be abused with the rest of us.
Sounds like
Hey, Ed.
a commissioner's comedy hour here or something.
Yeah, really.
A couple things to update you on. We are starting the system with our 2022 tax sale calendar. We have 60 properties right now that's on the books that are eligible to go into the tax sale. I doubt that we will have 15 of those actually get to the tax sale process. They usually take the opportunity to get caught up before that happens. Though we are starting that, the tax sale, October 31st, last day of October, so be right here at 10 a.m., so.
So those 60 properties, you send notice to the property owners plus put it in the paper, or how all do you?
We're not to the point where we put it in the paper yet. We have a whole calendar here of when we legally have to do all that stuff. But what we do, and we're not obligated to do it by State Board of Accounts or anything, but we do send courtesy letters to all these people, and we're in the process of putting those in the mail today. Kathy has the whole stack of 60 different properties, and this is both real estate and personal property that's behind. And we'll have those in the mail today. This is something that our office does that's not legally obligated to do, but it helps us to get the tax revenue that's due in. And there are times when people just forget.
Sure.
Some of the times they just don't pay and they have to be reminded, but there are times, especially last year with COVID and stuff, they just forgot and they come in and they pay and, pay the late fees and all that stuff, and they're good about it, so.
So you said tax sale October 31st at 10?
10 a.m., yes.
10 a.m., okay.
Yep. Okay. Now, speaking of taxes, we are at 98.14% for the spring. And that's real good. We was hoping to be at 97% at this point before the courtesy letters go out. But at 98.14, we're ahead of the game from even last year, and we were first in the state last year. So I hope to get around those same numbers again. But we're well on our way. For the fall collection, we're already over 16% collected. So once again, in good shape. I want to let you know that on our ARPA money came in, and I emailed all of you when that did, and that was Thursday that I notified you. And so that's 3.474 million. I know that plans aren't in the books yet to necessarily do anything with that second 3.474 million. And I have the opportunity to invest some of that. Tony and I have been talking, and once everything gets caught up as far as the reconciliation, the State Board of Accounts, then he and I and Brianna are going to sit down and look to see what's reasonable to invest. I could get some really good short-term rates for 12 months, and I'd like to put away a chunk of that to earn some interest. But we're not quite there yet to make that decision, but we will be. I do want to let you know that I have 4.15 million in bonds, and I have 2.5 million in CDs right now. So a total of 6.653. And we have some more room where we can invest some more. And with the rates going, I want to take advantage of these short-term rates that we can get right now. It's not quite completely liquid if you tie it up for a year, but we know we're not going to be spending some of that ARPA money for more than a year. So it would behoove us to get whatever interest rate we can on it. And, I can make enough right now on investing a couple million that'll pay a couple of salaries for the year. And I think it's well worth doing that. But Tony and I and Brianna will be talking later this week, probably into next week, before we make those decisions. But I wanted to let you know. So that's all I got. Unless you guys have any questions. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks, Ed.
All right, Jack, would you like to come up?
You want to take and enter that report in the minutes?
Oh, yes, I'm
Yeah, I'll
sorry.
make a motion to enter the treasurer's report for the month into the minutes.
Okay. Motion carries. All right. So we kind of were in here when you presented to council,
Perfect.
so,
I was still waking up, so I think I was a little off on some of the numbers, but I can repeat everything, or do you guys have any questions on the grant we're
what do
trying
you guys have questions? Do you have?
We listened to everything you did, you said in the council, so I don't have a problem.
Perfect.
Okay. So,
I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the grant, if you're okay,
Okay.
Steve.
I'd like for him to repeat it. No.
Oh,
I'll
you-
second it.
You want to drag us out a little bit longer?
I do have one more new
Okay.
request for commissioners.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Oh,
Well,
Losing
we
lives
do always appreciate you pursuing grant money like that, when it's something that's definitely something that we need to fund regardless, for sure.
definitely. As long as it's available, yeah, we're glad to try and go for it. Unfortunately, I do have another request, fairly basic. We had a probation officer turn in her resignation letter yesterday, and I let Shannon know yesterday, so I was gonna try and take this off her plate for later. So Jamie Schartzer, she took a position somewhere outside the county and is looking to leave our office leaving January 24th. So we're requesting permission from the commissioners to post that and see if we can get that filled here in the near future.
January 24th.
June.
Yeah.
Still not awake yet?
Apparently not, yeah.
Did she primarily take a certain kind of case?
Yeah, so we receive grant funding from the DOC grants, and she primarily is that position right now. So with her leaving, we'd have to find somebody to take over that position for high, moderate risk felons, especially those coming out of DOC. So we're gonna miss her. She was a big help and she was very good at her position, but I understand she
Do you
has.
think that'll be a difficult position to fill?
It'll be tricky. We're wondering if we're gonna fill it in-house, may have another officer transfer over with some experience, so that way it could be an easier transition for that caseload. Otherwise, if we feel like we can find a good hire for it, we might just have them walk right into it. Thanks, Tony. But we'll see what we get for applicants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Want a motion to go ahead and allow Jack to go ahead and fill that position and have Shannon go ahead and advertise it? I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Motion carries.
Thank you. That's all I need.
Good job with everything already. Keep up the good work.
How long have you been there? How many years?
Rick, did you want to come on up?
The elevator's up and running. I
Good.
text y'all, so.
Thank you.
And I am pursuing quotes to maybe get it replaced. Kind of playing phone tag with Barb Larman from John August's office. She left me a voicemail. They were wanting to know the hours of our building and the gymnasium to use our gym here for a cooling station. I mean, I haven't talked to her, but we're not actually the coolest here. But I wanted to let you know that, and I haven't spoken to her yet, but just because she's either been on the phone or whatever it's been when I've tried calling back. You guys got anything to add to that?
Well, and I suppose if it's 98 degrees outside, I mean, this would probably be a little bit cooler to get people.
Yeah, I would hope. At least to be out of the sun, I guess.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to enlighten you on that, and I presume it's okay if that's done.
So what would that involve? Just
You know, I
leaving
don't
it
know.
generally open to the public?
I can, when I speak to her, I can enlighten you on what she said, so, or what she says. I have no idea, Stan.
I mean, we're considered a shelter anyway, so I would think that would be appropriate to open it up as a cooling station, so.
As far as I know, I mean, I've been around the buildings early this morning. I don't see any damage. We did have an alarm go off at the courthouse last night, but other than that, I don't see anything.
Good.
The power I know did go out in this building for just temporarily, not very long. And usually when that happens, it'll kick that one chiller we got running out. But that's one of the first things I checked early this morning. It's running. This is what we got.
Good.
Progress is going on down in the, I'm going to call it the IT hallway. There's doors that are hung. They're mudding and taping and sanding now. Waiting for some hardware to come in and then it'll all get painted. the prints for the doorways.
Don't get their facts straight before they go and report it. It's okay to report it, I understand that, they have that right to do that, but get your darn facts straight.
Yeah. Yes, I did receive
Yeah,
a
I
call.
mean, we have no intention of shutting that off, or we wouldn't be getting prices on a new elevator.
I can't agree more. I mean, when I received that call, I said, that is so far from the truth, I can't even tell you.
I know it.
I mean, the commissioners have allowed me to buy the circuit panel. I'm working on it. It's a programming issue. And they've also given me the okay to get quotes, prices to put a new elevator in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. I don't know why we got that call but
Well, and I think from the time the elevator was not working properly, I think you started making calls to do everything you possibly could to get it back up and running and make people aware that it wasn't functioning.
and I think Tony had a good idea when I used his office. We put the number, if anybody needed assistance to get around, or we could go down there and do business with someone that could make it up, it was posted.
Yeah.
You did the best you could do under the circumstances in which we're operating in this day and age.
Right.
It's hard to get service in on a timely basis, it's hard to get our supplies in.
Yeah,
You know, so I just think it's completely irresponsible when somebody does something like that.
All right.
Enough said.
Enough said.
Hey, Greg, who made the request for the cooling station? Who brought that idea to you, the cooling station?
it would come from John August's office.
John August, okay. Who made that?
Thank you for the air.
I know, but I didn't know. I just said individuals, I didn't want to.
All righty. Morning, Mark. Well, would you like to come up for a report?
Yes.
All right. Appreciate you coming in.
That's okay. Did have one of our trees broke off last night.
Did you really?
Smaller one though, so.
Anywhere close to the building?
No, it was towards our drive that has around back, but
Yeah.
might need a little help getting it cut up. Let's see here. Monthly report. There you go.
All right. Well, is that something, Brad, do you have guys out that could help him over there with that? Or
Yeah.
either that or,
15 footer, 20 footer. There's not too much to it. It's, next day, it's maybe. Yeah, they run that through the chipper. Yeah, it's, as you pull into the drive, it goes around back. It's like the second or third tree that was planted, it just broke off at the base.
And, yeah, it may not be the next day or two,
That's
but.
fine. I appreciate it.
Okay.
so it's not in the way of anything? Right?
No, it was across our drive, but we pulled it out of the way this morning,
Okay.
so it's just laying there alongside the drive right now.
Okay.
So, well, good morning, thank you. This is our report for Golden Meadows for the month ending May 31st, 2022. Population is at 25 at the end of May, with 15 male and 10 females. Total charged for the month of May was $29,498, with income and receipts received totaling $28,507.80, just for a negative difference of $990.20. So pretty good month for us. We also had the garage sale last month. Wasn't as well attended as we would have liked. We heard there was some other garage sales going on, maybe I think in the town of Hoagland that weekend that we had ours. So we still have stuff set up. We're going to try it again. We did make a little over $700 though, so that'll go to the special needs fund for the residents. So not too bad. The only other item I have today was the item that I emailed you gentlemen about last week, and that was in regards to the well, the well pump that went out shortly after we had our new surge tank put in. The well pump lasted about 3 days, and then it went kaput on us. So we were fortunate enough to get it replaced. The very next morning, Josh went out that night after being called in for no water, and so they basically had to pull the old well, put well pump, and put a new one in, which Patriot did that, same folks that did our other work. So it's all a nice integrated system now. And like I mentioned in my email, there's a digital readout with that new pump tank system that they put inside, and it flashed an error code. So when Josh went in that night, he was able to either look up the error code or he called him. I'm not sure which it was, but told him exactly what the problem was, and they were out the next morning. So that invoice there is just for that work, and I put the fund on there that we intend to pay that for that repair. So other than that, things are going well, other than the tree down this morning, but I think that was pretty mild compared to what other people experienced last night.
Mark, how much is that amount?
When's the next one?
How much is that amount? I didn't get the number.
One for what now?
The pump, never played the pump.
It's a little over $3,000 for that, yeah. They've got the
Steve's
bill.
got that.
Yeah, that's okay. 3,071.
I don't know whether they got it by that yet.
Yes, yes. Materials and labor, that's,
Mark, when is has all the resumes been asked, given to you for a new replacement for Josh?
I've received 2 today.
Okay, when does that end? Is it done as far as resumes for?
I don't think I put a deadline on it because I
Okay,
wasn't
okay.
expecting to get a lot.
Right.
Okay,
First individual has not responded to me. Second individual was from inside, which I'm gonna talk to her today. So I'll let you know what happens on that.
okay,
We had an internal candidate, so,
okay, that sounds good.
okay.
All right, I don't know if we want to do these separate, approve his report, and then also the bill for the,
I think you do it separately.
okay.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and accept the report for the month for that Golden Medals report.
Second. All right, motion carries. And then we have Patriot Water Solutions for a total of $3,071. That's materials and labor to pull block probe from a 5-inch well, install 1.5 horse, 230 volt 3-phase. Oh, that's a 3-phase? Franklin electric pump and motor and well. Replace well seal and sanitize well. Old motor and pump were 23 years old. So we have a 5-year warranty. So, all right.
Is that coming out of the equipment fund? Is that CUMCAP equipment fund there for Golden Medals?
Yes, G of H Equipment Fund?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve that.
Okay, motion carries. You don't need that.
Nope, I've got a copy. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
So-
Anything else?
All right, well, hopefully we'll find you a good maintenance person and
Yes.
so.
Yep. Yeah, hopefully it'll have a good interview today and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
Well,
Sure.
Hey, Mark?
Yes.
Put that in the-
I'll do.
I didn't get, how much did you make, what'd you make out there? How much did you make on that six?
It was around.
One thing, we don't have a county attorney. We got Shannon's.
Okay, that's it.
Shannon, do you have anything for us today? All right.
Don't you dare. Don't.
She heard that.
I did.
She's got good ears.
I have a 28-year-old ear.
Better than I do.
You know, Rex and I have to say it 2 or 3 times before it sinks in.
That's true.
So we have a couple resignations that have come in over the last couple days. Jack spoke about one of the employees in probation. So you already gave me permission to post and recruit for that. I also have the prosecutor's investigator, Cleveland Ing, in the prosecuting attorney's office. His last day with us is going to be June 22nd.
Oh,
So I need permission to post that one.
everybody liked him.
I know.
May I ask, is there a reason that we're getting a lot of resignations?
I think some of it is wages. I mean, I think most of it is wages. I have a really hard time recruiting as a general statement. Typically, when I post jobs that are a lower wage, I may get 2 to 8 or 9 applications, and most of them are not candidates that we'd be interested in pursuing. I just think that people are seeking other opportunities and, looking for other stuff. But the Great Resignation is a real thing, even if people don't want to agree that it's a real thing. We're in a, in my opinion, we're in a unique position where we're not able to be as flexible as a lot of other companies are in terms of scheduling, working from home, things like that. So it's just, everybody's always, usually people are just looking for the next thing, so it's tough. So permission to post that one.
You need a motion? I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, motion carries.
The next one is Andrew Wolf. He is a court security officer. He is going to Bern Police Department. His last day is going to be this Friday, the 17th. So I need to recruit for that position.
Make a motion?
Very good.
Yes.
Second.
Okay.
Motion carries.
And then the next one is a confinement officer or a jail officer. He put in his 2 weeks. I don't know if it was today, yesterday, or last week sometime, but his last day with us is going to be the week of the 22nd as well. I'm not sure what day yet. I don't have a letter. So I've got 2 jail officer openings, prosecutor's investigator, a probation officer, a maintenance tech at Gold Meadows, still a deputy sheriff, part-time housekeeper, just one of each.
Settlement deputy.
Settlement deputy.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, motion carries.
I mean, the settlement deputy job is one of the higher paying wages that we have. And I've only gotten 2 applications for that. And one of them is a gentleman who has applied to every single job I've ever posted on Indeed, who's not eligible for that position because he doesn't have the skills and experience. So, I mean, even the opportunities we have that are better paying than some, I don't get any. That's all I have.
Well, give him a good grade for persistence.
Yep, doom and gloom, that's all I got.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well,
See you after hours.
Yeah.
Pizza.
She didn't hear that, did she? You guys are gonna run out of the money in your fund. We'll keep your pizza.
your pizza fund.
That's unfortunate. You guys are paying that.
No, we can't compete with the private. But benefit taxes, like I said, is, that's a plus. Right, you're right, well, it should be.
I understand that. You and I understand. I'm saying 80% of a lot.
All we're doing is looking for the day. That's it, what can I do per day? And then all of a sudden, some time goes fast.
We need something. Benefits as far as your base is.
Both have a better goal. There's things that have.
All worked out. The thing it is, the kids know.
Trying to pull up an email here.
Who's gonna announce something about the hospital?
That's what I'm pulling up, yeah. I just wanted to print it off.
Oh, okay. Gotta give it to the newspapers.
Probably not.
I'd give a copy to the newspapers.
Is that gonna have to go in the special information again, like the last one they did?
Probably, yeah.
That's what I had told a member of the council that asked. That's what we did with the last one. That's what had to be done, actually. Bad, actually. Keep your table under control.
All right, since we don't have a county attorney today, we will, skip that report, yeah. I did have one thing. We had a letter from the hospital. Excuse me. And I am gonna just read this letter real quick. This is addressed to, Adams County Commissioners, Adams County Council, Adams County Auditor, Adams County Treasurer, Town of Geneva, City of Decatur, City of Bern, and Town of Monroe. Dear Rex, Dan, Steve, Dennis, Tony, Ed, Phyllis, Gwen, Agnes, and Rachel. When the hospital bonds were refinanced this past year, it resulted in substantial savings to the hospital. The hospital board has decided to pass the entire bond savings on to our local communities that receive economic development income tax distributions. The county, the cities of Decatur and Bern, the towns of Geneva and Monroe. This savings averages a little less than $150,000 each year. As I believe you are all aware, nearly 20 years ago when the various options were being considered at public meetings in Decatur and Bern concerning the future of the hospital, sell, remodel, or build new, the overwhelming majority wanted to keep our hospital local and independent, and as a result, the new hospital was proposed. Each of the communities agreed to increase the economic development income tax by 0.2% and then pledged that additional 0.2% of EDIT revenues towards the annual payment of bonds during the lifetime of the bonds. The hospital board and administration are grateful for the commitment made by the leaders of each of the communities back at that time and continue to be grateful for the relationship that the hospital has today with each of your boards. That relationship has allowed the hospital to continue to be local and independent, employing over 900 people, the majority of whom reside within Adams County. Each community will receive a share of the annual savings based upon their respective share of the EDIT revenues as determined by the Department of Local Government Finance. The county auditor, Tony Mellencamp, shared with me the 2022 distribution amounts, and I calculated the percentage and the resulting amount that each community will receive of the $150,000 annual savings. Adams County will receive 64.33% for $96,495, and then you guys can have copies of this. Town of Monroe, 1.24% for $1,860 a year. Town of Geneva, 3.3% at $49.50. City of Decatur, 23.34% for $35,010. City of Bern, 7.79% for a total of $11,685 a year. So that, of course, brings us to our total of $150,000 being returned to these communities. So this money will be made as an intergovernmental transfer from the hospital to be divided as set forth above. Thank you all for the great working relationship that all of our communities have with one another. It's one of the reasons that Adams County is such a great place to live and work. Signed, Adam Miller. He's attorney for the hospital board of trustees. So anyway, I just thought that was a very, very good gesture on the hospital's part to return those savings back to the communities. And while they're still maintaining a cutting edge technology in their equipment and constantly bringing new specialists in to work at the hospital and maintaining good general care and emergency care. So So anyway, just wanted to announce that.
We get copy, that's pretty, that's a good, that's a front pager there. That's
Yeah.
pretty something. That's
So-
good.
Yeah,
Maybe make copies for her, or you want me to?
I'll print off a couple of copies. But another thing is, you know, when the pre-hospital emergency care was instituted by the state, that responsibility fell back to the commissioners by statute to provide pre-hospital emergency care. And at that time, the funeral homes had been doing it. And so then when the county took it over, the county operated it for either 1 or 2 years and then turned it over to the hospital. And since that time, the hospital has been operating that service with a contribution from the commissioners for that service plus towards the purchase of vehicles every year. So basically by statute, it's our responsibility, but the hospital has accepted that responsibility also. So we've always worked very well together between the commissioners and the hospital. And I've always been glad to keep our hospital independent and cutting edge.
There's one thing too, Stan, on that. There's no restrictions on how we use those funds. That's gonna go in that, Tony, that special donation line that we put the 2016 monies, and there's no restrictions in on that, so that's a good thing.
You use that for Paul Norris, $30,000 he wants. Yeah, that's right there, you got 30.
I was
We can
thinking,
remove a log jam, huh?
Absolutely, that's good money.
I was thinking more pickup trucks for the commissioners.
There you go.
That's what's, yeah, count on Stan, he's always thinking about himself, you know? That's why you make it interesting, Stan.
Is they gonna be a take-home pickup truck?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
And the county pays for the gas.
Yeah.
Well, let's make sure you get all
Take
the
on
paperwork
vacation
done properly.
pickup truck, yeah. So anyway, I thought that was a very good, very positive announcement.
We'll stop by and fill
That's a
up
good way to
the
end, that's a good way to end the meeting, right?
Yeah,
Something positive.
yeah, so. So, any questions from the public or comments or? Okay. All right. Good to have Bree back from vacation. So, I know some people barely missed her, but.
Oh, she was gone?
Yeah.
Oops. I didn't say that.
You didn't earn any brownie points today, Steve.
All right.
Make a motion to adjourn then.
Second.
Okay. Motion carried.